What if I told you the famous Nigerian prince email didn't start with the internet, didn't even start in Nigeria, and is actually hundreds of years old? Today we're breaking down the real origin of the Nigerian 419 scam, where it came from, how it evolved, and why it became one of the most infamous fraud schemes in the world. Before we go any further, let's clear this up. 419 isn't slang. It's not a meme. It's literally Section 419 of the Nigerian Criminal Code, which deals with fraud and obtaining property by false pretenses. So when people say a 419 scam, they're basically saying a fraud crime. But the technique behind these scams? That's way older than Nigerian law. Long before spam emails, there was something called the Spanish prisoner scam. This dates back to the 1500s. Here's how it worked. A scammer would claim they had secret access to a wealthy prisoner, usually a nobleman, who was being held against his will. The victim was told that if they helped pay a bribe or fee, the prisoner would be freed. And as a reward, the victim would receive a massive fortune. Sound familiar? Replace Spanish prisoner with Nigerian prince, and handwritten letters with emails. Same scam, different century. Fast forward to the 1970s and 1980s. Nigeria was booming from oil money, then suddenly crashed. Corruption, military rule, unemployment and economic hardship hit hard. At the same time, advance fee fraud started appearing in Nigeria through fax machines, letters, telex messages. These early scams often targeted foreign businesses, not individuals. The pitch? Fake government contracts, overpaid invoices, frozen funds that needed help to be released. Victims were promised a percentage if they just paid a small upfront fee. That's the core of 419. In the late 1990s, email exploded globally. Suddenly, scammers didn't need printing costs, postage, or physical offices. One person could reach millions of inboxes overnight. This is when the scam evolved into what most people recognize today. Inheritance emails, business proposals, military generals, lottery winnings, and yes, Nigerian princes. Ironically, many of these emails were intentionally badly written. Why? Because scammers wanted to filter out skeptical people. If you replied despite obvious red flags, you were more likely to fall for the rest. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Nigeria did not invent fraud, but it became associated with it because a large number of scams were traced back to Nigerian networks, weak enforcement in the early internet era. Global media attention amplified the stereotype. Meanwhile, similar scams were, and still are, run from Europe, Asia, North America. They just didn't get branded the same way. Today, Nigeria actually has dedicated cybercrime units and actively prosecutes 419 fraud, but the reputation stuck. Modern 419 scams now include romance scams, crypto fraud, business email compromise, fake job offers. The scripts are more polished, the psychology is sharper, but the structure, still the same promise. Pay a small amount now to receive something huge later. A scam as old as civilization itself. So the Nigerian 419 scam isn't really Nigerian, isn't really modern, and definitely isn't going anywhere anytime soon. It's an ancient con, reborn in the digital age. If you found this interesting, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Have you ever received a 419 email or know someone who did? See you in the next one.